Around 10 p.m. on Friday, the 22nd of September, 1995, in Soper, Oklahoma, 3 young hunters were spotlighting for coyotes. They were in Choctaw County, driving along a tree line when they noticed eyes gleaming in the light. One hunter had binoculars and another had a rifle with a scope. Through the binoculars and scope, they saw a large biped covered in brown hair that stood at least 8 feet tall. It lowered its head due to the light, but remained in place for a few minutes before disappearing into the woods. The face was a cross between a man and an ape. Daryl Colyer, a Bigfoot researcher, was contacted to investigate this encounter, and he interviewed a witness. The event occurred on private property some 15 miles north of the Red River, according to the witness. Mayse Lake is just to the south over the Texas state line. According to the witness, the animal looked like a tall man covered in dark hair, most likely brown. The witness did not feel frightened because the animal appeared to be concerned and not aggressive. He also reported that a few years earlier, he and a cousin discovered some large footprints in the same area. He photographed the tracks, but no longer had those pictures. This young hunter was convinced, though, that he had encountered a Bigfoot. It was getting dark on Wednesday, the 30th of October, 2002, when a hunter in Choctaw County, Oklahoma, was making his way back to his pickup. He was walking along the railroad tracks near the Mayse River when he heard footsteps behind him. He noticed an odor that reminded him of a dead cow. He came to a halt and looked around, thinking it was a bear. He noticed an animal was walking back into the woods on 2 legs, unusual for a bear, but being a skilled hunter, he had seen bears walk for short distances on 2 legs before. This bear also grunted like a hog, but much deeper and louder. After a minute or so, he resumed his walk to the pickup, but this time a little faster. He had walked about 50 yards when rocks were thrown at him. This frightened him, and he took off running. An animal was keeping up with him as he moved through the thick vines and brush and onto the tracks. He looked back at the animal, which had the appearance of a large human, but the fur of a bear. The animal was tall, probably 7 feet tall or taller, and had a long torso and arms. When he returned to the truck, he got in and sat for a few minutes, looking around. He couldn't see the animal any longer, so he drove home. He didn't go back to look for footprints because the ground was swampy and overgrown with vines and brush. He had heard similar grunting noises on previous hunting trips, but assumed the sounds came from big cats, wolves, and bears in the area. Now, he was not so sure about that. His encounter reminded him of a story about an elderly man who lived in the woods near the Mayse River. The elderly man had shot one of those creatures, and the other creatures kept returning and throwing rocks at his house. One day, the elderly man was discovered dead, and the cause of death was later determined to be a heart attack. This hunter was aware of the loggers in that area who told some strange stories about creatures in the nearby woods. This hunter was also convinced that he had encountered a Bigfoot. Thank you for watching. My name is Larry Roth. This is the Rothline Channel. Please like this video, subscribe for future Bigfoot stories, and I will see you next time.